All right, so we got the alchemists. In Spanish, it's called el alquimista. Sometimes in Spanish, these words end with a feminine ending, and sometimes they have a masculine article or a feminine article and a masculine suffix. This case, we have el and then alquimista at the end, right? So the language is not as simple as you think it is, but it's definitely worth picking up to be able to understand deeper connotations of all languages that use these Phoenician and Roman letters. So this is Spanish and English for the Moorish alchemist, part 43, and we're just continuing on with our caravana travels here from Morocco to Egypt. La caravana empezó a viajar de día y de noche. The caravan started from day to night. A todas horas aparecían los mensajeros encapuchados y el camellero, que se había hecho amigo del muchacho. Explicó que la guerra entre los clanes había comenzado. Tendrán mucha suerte si lograban llegar hasta el oasis. At all hours, messengers that were hooded would show up, and the camel driver that became good friends with Santiago, the young man, explained that war was beginning between the clans, that they would have a lot of good luck on their side if they were to make it to the oasis. Los animales estaban extenuados y los hombres cada vez más silenciosos. The animals were exhausted and the men were each time more silent. El silencio era más terrible en la parte de la noche, cuando un simple relincho de camello, que antes no pasaba de un relincho de camello, ahora asustaba a todos lo podían ser un señal de invasión. The silence was terrible at night, but when a simple cry of a camel that really didn't have that whiny sound of a camel would bring fear to all, and it was a signal of invasion. El camellero, no obstante, no parecía estar muy impresionado con la amenaza de guerra. So the camel man, nonetheless, was not very impressed with the threat of wars. Estoy vivo, dijo al muchacho mientras comía un plato de dátiles en la noche sin fogatas y sin luna. He's like, I'm still alive, the camel driver said to Santiago, the young man, while he ate a plate of dates with no campfire and no moonlight in the middle of the night. Mientras estoy comiendo, no hago nada que no sea comer. While I'm eating, I don't do anything else that's not eating. Si estuviese caminando, solo caminaría. If I were walking, then I'd only walk. Si tengo que luchar, ser un día tan bueno para morir como cualquier otro. If I have to fight, it would be just as good of a day to die like any other. Porque no vivo ni en mi pasado ni en mi futuro. He said, I don't live in my past and I don't live in my future. Tengo solo el presente y solo él me interesa. I only have the present and that's the only thing that interests me. Si puedes permanecer siempre en el presente, entonces serás un hombre feliz. If you could always be in the present moment, you will be a happy man. Percibirás que en el desierto existe vida, que el cielo tiene estrellas y que los guerreros luchan, porque esto forma parte de la raza humana. You would perceive in the desert there exists life within the stars and the skies, and the fighters would fight because this all forms a part of the human race. La vida será una fiesta, un gran festival, porque ella es siempre y solo el momento que estamos viviendo. Life is like a festival or a party, a grand festival, because she is always, or it's always. And only thing that there is the moment that we're living in. Dos noches después, cuando se disponía a dormir, el muchacho miró en dirección al astro que seguían durante la noche. 2 nights before going to sleep, the young man Santiago looked in the direction of the stars that they had been following throughout the night. Halló que el horizonte estaba un poco más bajo porque encima del desierto había centenares de estrellas. He found the horizon was a little bit lower, and on top of the desert, there were hundreds and hundreds of stars. Es el oasis, dijo el camellero. He's like, that's the oasis. The camel driver is telling him, like, that's the oasis over there. ¿Y por qué no llegamos allá inmediatamente? He's like, why don't we get over there immediately? Santiago's asking the camel driver, why don't we get to the oasis immediately? Porque necesitamos dormir. And the camel driver responds, because we have to sleep or get some rest. So, as you guys could see, or as you guys heard, um, the camel drivers are giving Santiago some game on life as a whole. Sometimes young people, we tend to want to grow up, young people tend to want to grow up real fast. They tend to want to be adults and have liberties like adults real fast. Sometimes we tend to get older and then we kind of reminisce on the past. You know, we think about the past a lot sometimes as human beings, and this guy, the camel driver, really gives Santiago game on, like, I guess you could say mindfulness, being present, and as well as patience. Just to have patience, to live in the moment and to have patience, right? Because there's a war going on between the clans and the tribes and this guy right here. This guy's at war right now, right? You at war? All right, go ahead and go fight. So this is the alchemist, right? El Alquimista. It's written by a South American author, Paulo Coelho, right? I thought you were gonna go fight. What happened? You hear her fighting? So that's the reading for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna pick up on Spanish for the Moorish alchemist, Spanish and English for the Moorish alchemist, part 44. And the objective for this next chapter is to get to this oasis. And then we have ourselves quite a surprise when we do get there, right? So that's going to conclude today's reading. Crescent Moon in the back. Check out moorsoflight.com. 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 All about empowering generations of ancient peoples to tap into themselves and restore knowledge that once guided all of humanity through sciences, arts, mathematics, navigation, and even the construction of towns and civilizations. Um, in this book, particularly though, in The Alchemist, there is more focus on the Moors being a force of of conquering, or for like a conquering force, and they're not lumped in together, but the Bedouins, the Barbers, the Los Encapuchados, like the ones that's wearing the hoods, the ones that's all covered in black, and then caravan. There's so many like references to essentially all types of Amazigh, all types of Maghreb descendants, and all types of Moorish customs, clothing, language, and people. So awesome book. And once again, it's your boy Marcoelboriken, and I hope I see you guys soon. And I hope you enjoyed that short reading.